was once a king who had 3 daughters, all lovely maidens, but the youngest, Psyche, excelled her sisters so greatly that it was even said that the goddess Venus herself could not equal this mortal. Venus was upset that any mortal could be more beautiful than her, so Venus turned to her son Cupid for help. Cupid had the power to make anyone fall in love with anyone he wanted, so Venus asked him to make Psyche fall in love with the vilest and most despicable creature. Cupid went to Psyche, but when he laid his eyes upon her, he, the god of love himself, fell madly in love. He did not shoot any arrows, and Psyche did not fall in love with anyone. Eventually, Psyche's sisters got married, but no man had fallen in love with Psyche, as she was too beautiful. Psyche's father, upset for her loneliness, traveled to an oracle of Apollo to ask for advice. Cupid had asked Apollo for his help, so Apollo answered, saying that Psyche shall be sent to the summit of a rocky hill and left alone, and her destined husband, a fearful winged serpent, would come and make her his wife. So Psyche was taken to the hill where she waited, when a sweet, mild wind lifted her up and took her away. Psyche was taken to a beautiful mansion with pillars of gold and walls of silver. Psyche took the most delightful bath and ate the most delicious food she had ever enjoyed, while sweet music breathed around her. Soon Psyche felt her husband beside her. She could not see him, but she knew that he was no monster, but the lover and husband she had been waiting for. Time passed swiftly, but one night Cupid told Psyche that her sisters were coming to weep for her. He warned her that if she went to see them, it would bring ruin to her, but she wanted to see them. He also warned her that she must never be persuaded by anyone to try to see him. The next morning, Psyche saw her sisters, and as soon as they saw the beautiful palace, they were immediately filled with envy. Psyche's sisters, filled with jealousy, told Psyche that her husband was a fearful serpent, and she must do as they tell her, or she would be devoured. They told her that she must hide a sharp knife in a lamp near her bed, and when her husband was fast asleep, she must light the lamp and kill the frightful beast she will see. Psyche did not see a fearful creature, but the sweetest and fairest creature. Psyche began to feel shameful, and she began to tremble. Some hot wax fell off the lamp onto Cupid, and he was awoken. As soon as he saw the lamp, he knew of her unfaithfulness, and he fled away from her. He went to Venus to have her care for his wounds. Psyche went out to search for Cupid, and eventually she went to Venus to see if he was with her. Venus was still jealous and upset with Psyche, so she decided to teach her a lesson and keep Cupid locked in her palace. Venus first gave her the task of sorting a great quantity of seeds completely by nightfall. This was a completely impossible task for Psyche alone, but just as she was giving up, waves of ants came to help her sort all of the seeds. Venus was not pleased that she had completed the task, so the next day she came up with another one. Psyche would have to fill a flask of water from the black waterfall. This was an impossible task for a wingless human, but an eagle savior came and seized the flask from her, filled it with the black water, and brought it back to her. Venus kept on. She sent Psyche to ask Proserpine to fill a box with some of her beauty and bring it back for Venus. Psyche fetched this from Proserpine, but she was filled with curiosity, and she opened the box, hoping it would make her more beautiful for Cupid, but she just fell into a heavy sleep. At this time, Cupid was finally healed of his wound, so he broke out of Venus's palace and found Psyche. He woke her and told her to take the box to Venus. Cupid flew up to Olympus to make sure Venus gave him no more trouble. He went straight to the father of gods, Jupiter, and he agreed. A full assembly of the gods was called. It was announced that Cupid and Psyche were formally married, and immortality was granted to Psyche. Venus could not object to a goddess for a daughter-in-law, and all came to a happy end. Love and soul had sought, and after sore trials found each other, and that union could never be broken.